Speed, a word with many definitions. To the M3 racing team, the meaning combines an intense mixture of dedication, experience, with a heightened sense of focus.
This is my team.
This is my passion.
Welcome to Full Circle, the M3 racing story.
Michael, come here.
Race weekend starts long before the tires hit the track. At the Cerrone household, it's all about family, with a focus on the little people.
M3 Racing was named after my son, my oldest son. I am Mike Jr. and he is Mike the third.
While M3 is intent to take up the mantle as a junior speed demon, at just 4 years old, questions arise about the prospects of someday moving into the rider's seat. These same questions can be applied to little brother Max as well. Questions that would concern any mother.
My sons are boys. They love their dad, and they are very active, very involved in sports, and they're crazy about their dad.
You gonna ride bikes someday? You wanna ride bikes someday?
No, I want to ride dirt bike.
You wanna ride dirt bikes? What about, you're gonna play hockey though, right? You wanna play hockey? Good. Alright, no bikes.
My son is all about motorcycles and is all about racing. I worry about my son wanting to race. He sees his dad out there and he loves watching it on TV. On the weekends that my husband's racing, he loves to see him race, and on the weekends that he's not racing, he loves to watch the racing with him.
I condone it? Absolutely not. Do I want to give him the opportunity to do things he wants to do in life? Sure.
One last one. Walk Daddy out. I'll say goodbye to you when you get in the car.
Say bye to Uncle Chris.
Bye, buddy.
Goodbyes are never easy. Race weekends can turn into 3 or more days away from home.
It's incredibly hard, extremely hard for me to leave my family behind.
When my husband leaves for a race, it's bittersweet. Is my husband going to come back to me? It's a very scary and dangerous sport, and I know that. And in the same token, I'm trying to be supportive because I know he loves it, but not only does he love it, he's really good at it.
I think about them every second that I'm gone. My helmet, I had customized both my wife and my kids' names on there. They are constantly with me while I'm out there, whether it's in my heart, whether it's on the shirt that I'm wearing, or whether it's on my head. They're everything to me, so.
With goodbyes all around and a heavy-hearted hand, for Mike Cerrone, it's time to shift gears and get into race mode.
Walk out with my duffel bag with clothes I'm going to wear under the suit that morning, and typically sandals, a pair of shorts, and some form of fleece or jacket, and a hat. I go in there and I just kind of try to relax, wake up.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Cool.
Working with a professional team leaves M3 riders with only one job: racing.
We have no worries. We take care of everything. Basically putting our lives in their hands.
Whatever they need done, we're here to help and support throughout the day and the weekend.
Mike Cerrone, 456.
Justin Holderman, number 14.
Is that high def? I got any shit here? Hi there, I'm Sam Gage, number 20 with M3 Racing. Legendary.
Colorful personalities often don't equate to winning, but nothing could be further from the truth for Sam Gage. Gage has collected numerous race wins and expert-level championships from around the country.
Sam is an excellent rider.
Definitely fast. He's usually the person you want to come out and beat because he's always up front. He never usually has an off weekend, and so usually when you come out, it's definitely you know you're going to battle with him.
I think the fact that when we show up to a racetrack and it's a busy weekend and it's a high-level weekend of high-caliber riders, that knowing that you have a chance to beat everybody that has driven from all over the country, that motivates me. Knowing that you walked out of there with everybody chasing you, that's a good feeling.
With great speed comes great risk. The risks for each rider are different, but an acceptance of these risks are a necessity.
Fear absolutely plays a part in the sport. If you don't have any fear out there, I don't want to say there's not a point in being out there, but you may not be riding as safe or as competitive as you can. Fear keeps you safe. I don't think there's anything wrong with being fearful out there. Most riders, at the same time of being fearful of what could happen out there, they know what their limits are. Do you see guys pushing their limits and possibly ending up in a crash or something because they push them? Absolutely.
I dislocated my shoulder twice. I just had some problems, wrecked once last weekend, so I don't remember, to tell you the truth. I got knocked out. Everybody said I kept repeating myself. I didn't remember what turn I went down in. I had to ask a few times.
Most of it comes from watching what happens out there instead of being out there. So when I'm sitting there at the sidelines watching my friends go by or fellow racers, yeah, I do get nervous watching that, thinking that I actually do that. But when I'm out there and that light turns green or the flag drops and turns green, I'm totally focused and it all goes away.
I've had a handful of crashes, but nothing, thank God, nothing ever major. That I ever saw? I've seen, without getting into details, I've seen the extreme.
I've been able to block out crashes pretty good. If I come off the bike pretty hard and hit my head or sprain an ankle or bruise a part of my body, I'm able to, try to forget about that. I think maybe all the headshots that I've taken help me forget about all that. So when I get back on the bike, it's not a problem.
I really don't think of limits. I just kind of ride and, I never thought of it.
With all their preparation behind them, the entire team must concentrate on the race at hand. As each rider takes their position on the starting grid, the mix of emotions can be almost overwhelming. It's the job of the rider to channel this energy into a successful start.
When I'm sitting there at the starting line, I feel my heart just racing. get out and get away when you can, but if you can't, then you got to be patient and just wait for a mistake from somebody or plan out a last lap execution.
Top speeds are required to be competitive at this level.
Fastest I've been on a track has got to be somewhere in the 165, 170 mark. Everything's just a blur. Totally different feeling. And, you know, again, with that comes, okay, make the right move. Don't mess up. Use your head.
On straightaways, at those speeds, everything kind of slows down a little bit, so it doesn't feel quite so bad. You know, if you get used to it and you do it quite a bit, that speed doesn't feel quite as intense as maybe, you know, being in a corner. Be able to accelerate out of that corner and drive out of it and lean your body over and put the knee on the ground and just totally lay into a corner. That's incredible.
Team photographer Jeff Kovac ensures all the action is captured.
We do a front and rear view so you get all the action and we don't miss anything that goes on in front or behind them.
When Dad is out on the track, Sam's wife Chrissy tends to 2-year-old son Sam Jr.
Just the sound of the bikes and the smell of the fuel, and the flag drops and they're off, and it's just as exciting for us to watch as it is for Sam to ride.
We were just talking about that before the race. How many races we've had in our career that we get 2 white flags?
That was the worst lap.
I only saw you get 1 white.
Yeah, I only got 1 white. And
Yeah,
one
but 1 white. But he didn't get to check it out in time frame, so he ended up going around again.
They gave me an extra lap.
Like everywhere you go, it's just, it's ridiculous. The bike's thick. You know, coming down in here where I said the fast corner is you downshift and the bike's just hopping because it's too good.
For Mike Cerrone, frustration starts to set in due to worsening track conditions and riders on larger bikes.
It was fucking pissing me off. I couldn't do anything because once you finally get back there, I get a better drive. Well, Peter's on a 1000. Right. The other two are 750s. I mean, everywhere. Other than the straightaways, everywhere I'm faster than them. But they did more of this shit.
Just don't let them beat you to 1 next time.
What the fuck?
Tire pressure can change drastically, whether it was how hot it is out or how cold it is out.
A synthetic rubber compound no more than 1/4 inch thick is expected to hold the combination of man and machine tight to the racing surface. With all the technology that goes into modern racing, it's the most basic force on Earth that provides balance.
Here, there's so much room for error because there's no human augmentation. I mean, here, it's you know, you're relying on one thing is that's gravity. That's it.
My crew was good enough if you can go back and tell them what you're feeling or hearing or seeing or what have you. They'll fix it.
Upon arrival to pit lane, Mike Cerrone now appears more comfortable after adjustments made by the crew.
Feels much better. I mean, obviously I'm loaded, but it's still bumpy out there. Yeah. But you can deal with it. Much better, yeah.
Okay. We'll just leave it.
So, yeah, I'd say leave it as it is.
Sam Gage arrives at the pits with word that his clutch is no longer functioning properly. His next race is just 20 minutes away.
We had a situation where I burned out a clutch. They were able to, within 2 races, which are 8 laps, to get the clutch out, put a new one in, and get me back out there with no problems.
That's no easy task.
All hands are on deck as the M3 techs descend to address the faulty clutch.
You take the old clutch out, put the new one in, and it's time consuming.
Unfortunately for Sam Gage, the repair didn't work out as planned, and he was forced to retire from the race.
I'm not really angry. It's just part of racing. It happens.
Even with the disappointment of not finishing the last race of the year, Sam Gage managed an astounding 14 championship titles in 2010.
I know when he first started, it was a battle to get up there. Everybody else was better, everybody else was getting more attention, and I know he craved that, but just wasn't up to that level quite yet. Now that he is, try to keep the humility in check.
He is one of the big parts. He helped me right along from day one. He coached me. He was over at my house at any given night I needed him to be to help me put my bike together. And there's a lot to the racing, just a lot involved, whether it's the crew, whether it's the finances, whether it's equipment, this, that, and the other thing. Whatever talent that I do have, I thank him tremendously.
So I started paying attention to Sam. He was whooping everybody, on his 600, even the 1000s, and that hyped us up. That was when it was easy. We had one trailer, one bike, pitched a tent out in the field. And the program is, holy cow. That was a while ago. It's come a real long way.
We've decided to have this be the last year for M3 Racing from a personal standpoint. I think it's the right time for me. 36 years old with a wife and 2 young children, it's the right time. It's one of those sports where you put a lot of money in and get very little out. It's a very expensive sport.
I want to thank my sponsors. I want to thank Moms, number one. I want to thank my wife for letting me come out here and do this. And I want to thank my teammate, Mike Cerrone, and Morris out at Dunlop. Excellent tire. We made the switch this year. Seems you're working really good with us. I also want to thank my crew, Joey, Jeff, Tucky, Ryan, Jared, my teammate over there, Justin Holderman. He's sitting out supporting us this week, showing us the love. Marissa, who comes here and supports him every week and gives us a hard time. It's great. Did pretty good. Pretty good. Everything felt pretty good. I just didn't really. I got a sore throat. I have to say that the last 4 years of racing motorcycles and being with Mike and his family and our friends have been probably one of the best times of my life. I wouldn't change anything that we've done. And having Mike there and the team and working hard, and it's just been incredible.
It's sad, but I think, listening to everything he's told me, it's that time. It really is, especially now that our kids are getting older and they're understanding the sport more and taking that chance of them wanting to do it. But, M3 Racing will always exist. It's bittersweet. It's going to be a happy, sad ending.
Am I going to miss it? Absolutely. I love it, and I think it would be very hard to go out and catch a race and support my friends, which can't say as I won't do, but it'll be very hard. something, and I'm that type, is something that's difficult for me to go watch when I can't be a part of it.
Many athletes agree that it's the camaraderie of the team they miss the most. Like other athletes, Cerrone's decision to retire does not come easy.
A very big part of my decision making, I always put into the factors my family. Kids are getting older. You know, how long do I really go and press my luck with the sport and coming home every weekend to my family?
This is it.
But in the end, each athlete must decide when it's their turn to come full circle.
Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in.